Hello, ready to ride? All right then. How many people will be playing? One player? Good. Competition only slows down the game. Is this your first time on the ride? Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy to have you back. Are you now, or have you ever been, a member of the Communist Party? Thanks a lot. I need to remind you that your buzzer is the letter B. Again, welcome to the ride, and I'll see you at the bottom.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide. This episode of You Don't Know Jack is sponsored by your local chapter of God-fearing, red-blooded, patriotic, commie-hating militias of America. Better dead than well-read. And now, please welcome the one, the only, Schmitty.
Okay, welcome to the show. So, you picked the red can, so let's see if you can keep your can out of the red. Well, it's no stealth bomber, but let's ride. This category is Left Out in the Cold War. Look no further, here's your question. Based on the name of the U.S. policy toward the USSR's expansionism in the 1950s, what would you expect the U.S. to do? Go on, do it! Hey, there's an open door. Careful it doesn't hit you in the ass on your way out. What do you say we check out the right answer? The U.S. plan to limit Soviet influence back in the 50s was called containment.
General, Plan A didn't work.
Damn! Bring on Plan B, the pleated Ziploc baggies. This one's called the Common Cold War. What do you say we work on getting your score out of the trenches with this one, huh? If you were to wage a cold war against the common cold, on what would you be spying? Viruses, bacteria, toxins, or cold fairies? Go for it!
But I thought I could have sworn that, no, please, no! Ah!
For the curious, here's the right answer. Colds are caused by viruses.
What's going on there, Agent 12?
How the hell should I know? I can't see them. Great, now I'm sick. Here's a little something I call better dull than red. Hey, you can't argue with $3,506. You get a right answer, it's all yours. Buckle up. Which of these is not a dull fact about staunch anti-communist John Foster Dulles? He became vice president in 1959. He had 2 secretaries of state in his family. Oh, gosh, excuse me. He helped negotiate a treaty with Japan, or it's yours if you want it. Nope, his grandpa and his uncle were both secretaries of state, and he became one himself so he could sit at the secretaries of state table at Thanksgiving.
Well, I do like a nice plump turkey, Schmitty.
That's very nice, Mr. Dulles.
And cranberry sauce.
So you don't lose any sleep over it. He never became a vice president. In 1959, he died.
I didn't know such thing.
Yes, you did, Mr. Dulles. Which doesn't necessarily preclude him from carrying out the duties of the job.
Are you implying the American political system is not the best in the world? Are you some kind of communist, young man?
No, sir, Mr. Dulles. No, sir.
Well, that's good. Did I mention my favorite color is gray?
No, you hadn't mentioned that.
It's true.
Oh. I'm calling this one I'm Getting Annoyed. Hey, what's your deal? Do you like being in debt? Focus this time. If the domino theory applied to Domino's pizza delivery, which statement would be the most accurate? If pepperoni is free, sausage will cost extra. The more you like pizza, the less you eat it. If one is late, all pizzas will soon follow suit. Oh, come on, take it! Right there. The domino theory held that should Vietnam fall to the communists, the rest of Southeast Asia would fall in 30 minutes or less. Up next, chilling Soviet leaders.
Did you know I like talking on the telephone?
No, Mr. Dulles, I hadn't heard that.
Communist.
Anyway, If you were to practice the Soviet policies of glasnost and perestroika on your refrigerator, what would you most likely do? Seal it off and kill all who approach it. It's yours if you want it. Glasnost means openness, perestroika means restructuring. These policies helped end the Cold War. Hey, and while you're in there, clean out those old Tupperware containers, will you? They smell like Bolshevik. Coming at you. That vitamin is the bomb. So, do you remember the B-2 or the stealth bomber, the undetectable craft that was our massive new weapon against the Soviets? Well, if the B-2 stealth bomber had the same properties as vitamin B2, what would be the best new name for it? The riboflavin bomber, the thiamine bomber, the niacin bomber, or the folic acid bomber? Go for it! Folic acid, right. That's the weapon that kills people, but first corrects all their birth defects. Okay, now, here's a good answer. Vitamin B2, it's also known as riboflavin, our first line of defense against the evil forces of respiratory problems. Fine choice. Brace yourself, my friend. It's time for Dis or Dat. The category for this Dis or Dat question is the Great Space Coaster Race. Now, I'm going to read off 7 space firsts, right? And for each event, I want you to tell me if it's an American first or a Soviet first. Cash in for each one you get right, and you lose cash if you get one incorrect or don't get to it. You got to get all 7 of them in 30 seconds. Here we go. First satellite to orbit the Earth was an American. First dog in space. First man to orbit the Earth. First woman to orbit the Earth. First man to walk in space. First road to reach another. First manned spacecraft to land. 3 right, 4 wrong. Why do I bother sometimes? Here's your current score. You feel good about that? Let's keep going. Whoa, nice shooting. And this category is... If trees organized a forest, would anybody hear? Ready or not, here it comes. If members of the John Birch Society decided to plant a society of birch trees, which of the following landscaping principles would they definitely not choose? Come on, take it!
Thank God we're not planted near those oak trees.
Oh, really? I mean, look at them. They have their nuts just dangling down for the whole world to see.
Let me show you what I would have picked. The John Birch Society is a group of ultra-right-wing anti-communists, so they would hate the idea of trees sharing the soil equally. But I wouldn't worry about those John Birch people. Their bark is a lot worse than their bite. Yeah, there's a nice one. Way to go. Your category is corpses that sell out. Man, I don't know what sickens me more. The fact that Gorbachev did a fast food commercial, or that commercials are using dead stars like Fred Astaire and John Wayne to sell products. Suppose you see a commercial using the famous image of Nikita Khrushchev banging something on a table during his UN speech. Whose product is Nikita most likely endorsing? Go on, do it!
Мы вас похороним, империалистические свиньи.
Does this ring a bell? Back in 1960, Khrushchev got all bent out of shape in front of the UN, and he started banging his shoe on a table. It was great.
We will bury you with these very cool and comfortable shoes.
There was a comic with one catchphrase, and Smirnoff was his name-o. Y-A-K-O-B, Y-A-K-O-B, Y-A-K-O-B. Oh, what a country.
Welcome to Yakov, comrade. Remember, to win the cash, buzz in when the first letter of the answer lights up. Collect all 5 letters, and I'll give you the bonus. All right, we're going in. Soviet gymnast Corbin. Warsaw Pact country, Al for short. Impressive. Soviet-backed Vietnamese rebels. Come on, man. Russia's portly prez for the 90s. Have a drink. Blank Solzhenitsyn. Shoe-banging Soviet leader. Moose Jack. One more letter for the real cash. Supposed JFK assassin lived in USSR. Oswald. That's it. Yakov. That's it, my friend. Check out your score there, make sure everything's in order, and we're moving on. All right, looking good, looking healthy. Here's your category. Rockin' over Russia. Here's the question. Based on the class of spy plane he flew, what band would you have expected Francis Gary Powers to be listening to on his intro for it? Well, somebody won't be buying a Stairway to Heaven. Why didn't you pick this one? In 1960, the Soviet Union captured U.S. spy Francis Gary Powers after shooting down his, drumroll please, U-2 spy plane. And the worst part was that the U.S. government still didn't find what they were looking for. Reeled in a big one. Try this category. Our new ambassador to the UN, Bozo.
I don't like clowns. They scare me. I think I'll leave.
Oh, well, if you feel you have to. I'll see you, Mr. Dulles. Okay, so, if you want to become a clown and want your clown name to reflect your interest in, come on, take it! CENTO was the Central Treaty Organization. It's also what you smell when you get too close to a clown. Here's the one the winners pick. Otto is a car. You know, those tiny little things you and 20 of your clown friends pile into and drive around in. All right. Let's see if this clue cuts it for you. Yet another job for my fancy pants army knife, which of course I keep in my fancy pants. You missed just one. Although actually, one more probably wouldn't have saved your crappy score.
If you're looking for an alternative to alternative, check out the new album from White Noise, Static. Rolling Stone calls it a triumph in nihilism.